The impact of Mike Gundy's stance on NIL negotiations. Now, Smoke, Mike Gundy said some things about NIL and negotiations the other day. Let's toss to it and see what Coach Gundy had to say about NIL negotiations.
And, you know, the business side of what we do now is we have to have those conversations with them. You know, tell your agent to quit calling us and asking for more money. It's non-negotiable now. Start again in December.
Hey, Reed, listen to me. If you're talking to me in December, November we cut the turkeys. In October, we collecting candy. September, yeah, it's already happening. I understand that Coach wants to have a hard stance on the project, on the properties of negotiating, and contracts should be ironed out before. But I've known you talk to a ton of guys about this subject, and that our group chat's been blowing up. I couldn't go to sleep last night just because of you coming back and forth and just saying what your stance is on it.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, when you think about success, Mike Gundy has had a ton of success. Let's look at him right here. 20th season as the head coach, overall record 166-79, a 12-6 bowl record, 3-time Big 12 Coach of the Year, tough to do. Won the Big 12 championship in 2011, right? In several conference championship games. Mike Gundy also played quarterback at Oklahoma State. He's as much of a made man at his university as you can have in college football. Now, Smoke, though, let's get to the business. Whether you want to talk about the money or not, it's going to be talked about. And if you're not willing to talk about it, then somebody is going to be talking to somebody about it. And one of the things these great players have, they have teammates at other schools, they have coaches, they have agents. There's a lot of people in the game. Guys are privileged with information to what other guys are making, and it's going to always be money talk, Smoke.
Well, let me get to my money talk. And this is where I've always said, and I'm going to keep saying it until they start listening. And then Courtney just got 825. There's a reason why. Because that's where you want your front office to handle this. This is where you want your general manager to have this conversation. So you stay out of it. Because one thing that you don't want to do is, you don't want a coach talking to a player about money. You don't want players in the locker room talking about money. There's a front office, there's a general manager, there's the guy that's in charge of your cap that should be able to negotiate or renegotiate if you're outperforming that contract. And I understand there's languages in that contract that the head coach might not be understanding of it. But Mike Gundy, in 2021, you lost 80 of your players. You said, okay, well, the portals have started. We're getting, yeah. Then you go to 2022, you lose 15. Then 2023, you lose 19 players. So right now, going at this number, you're going to lose about a third of your players. And I've known Coach Gundy since 1998. He recruited me at the University of Maryland. He's firm, he understands, and one of his reasons for being so successful, because he believes in himself and he believes in what he's selling. Reed is the second longest tenured coach in college football right now. So like you said, he has some skins on the wall. And he's an Oklahoma State guy. Barry Sanders, Thurman Thomas was in the backfield and he was playing quarterback. But having such a hard stance and making this a rule, you're going to suffer the penalties of your actions. Rules are meant to be changed, and there's rule guys, and there's guys that get around those rules. Those are exceptions. If you have an exceptional player in your building that's putting up exceptional numbers with production, yeah, you should look at your general manager. The general manager should look at you and say, hey, listen, get in contact with his agent, and let's get this thing done before December. We don't have to make it public. And that's where everybody's getting this caught up. You don't have to make it public. When agent talks to the front office, it's not a public matter, it's a private matter. But let your client know that this is going to be taken care of. We just don't have to let everybody else know. And in the locker room, don't say nothing, because this is business.
How do these comments affect recruiting, though, at Oklahoma State?
Well, Oklahoma State's always done a good job of recruiting what fits them, and they've developed their players. And you and I both know in the world of recruiting, like, people talk too daggone much. And agents, or so-called agents, not certified agents, are going to tell other parents, other members of the family, young Reed, CR3 is getting $850,000. Those aren't the real numbers. So the impact on recruits aren't going to be that high, because we understand when the business gets done and you're evaluating your right talent, and they're going to be on the 3 stars and the 2 stars, guys that fit their building. They're going to develop them and somebody's going to come take them. So the impact's not that great on recruits. But in your locker room, this can cripple you. And I know that Coach Gundy's put his back against the wall and said, this is what it is. But at some point, someone needs to sit down with him and just share the benefits of delegating a lot of your activities, especially business and NIL and the negotiation of contract with players, to somebody else that is going to be responsible for taking that heavy blow.
Because ultimately, Mike Gundy is known as a legendary recruiter, identifier of talent, and developer. And if he says publicly that we're not going to negotiate, all he's doing is recruiting kids for somebody else because they're just going to come in and pay him a little bit more money, Smoke.
So, but Reed, about 80% of these colleges, isn't that what we're doing? You're recruiting for somebody else. You're developing for somebody else. You're just a keepsake. You're just a case holder. You're just holding over a little bit of time until the next man tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, Reed, I got that bag for you. What you going to say? I'll be there. When? In December. Just give me a call.
Money talks and BS runs the marathon, Smoke.